No, no, not again. Oh, there it is. See?
Challenge. Should have been a social studies.
Computer. It's just looking at me. I double click. One click. I think our Wi-Fi has abandoned us.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
So, who's got a joke?
I'm really glad. Thank you, Michael, for going in between Bill and myself. That would have been a little scary to have to do that. Trying to wait on the video real quick. We got working with it. So, as most of you guys know, I started this, and Jerry nicknamed me Zipline Klein back in his year as being the person that, we started the Canopy Tours. I'm trying to get the video up so you can kind of see our newest video, but of course we don't have challenges here. So, anyway, so how many people have done the Canopy Tour so far? So why haven't the rest of you guys done it? Fear? You haven't heard yet. I haven't sold it on you yet. Anyway, so close to between 25 and 30,000 people a year now are coming to Sonoma County and doing the Canopy Tour. So it went from 0 to about 25. We're close to going to be about 28,000 this year is what we're looking at this point, even with the rains and those kind of things too. So we've been a big benefit to the county as far as keeping heads in beds a little bit longer. So that's been a real positive thing. So when we started,
Keep up.
when we started, what?
Let's stretch.
When we started, there were only 40 zip lines or canopy tours in the United States. Now they're close to 300, but there are almost 700 of them now. Wow. So we've got a lot of different competition going on. And what we're finding is that people that have done the canopy tour, either we've got the junkies that are following, they're doing the canopy tours and are wanting to keep doing them all over different places, or we're finding that they've already done them and they don't want to do them again. So we're kind of doing that. Yeah, but journalists pass on it. I mean, it's good for us to stop.
So, Debbie, I want to ask you what the weight limit was on the zip line. So, it appears I have a good excuse why I haven't been zip line.
So the weight limit, what I do is I put on each of your tables, I put some little rap cards, and you kind of tell that it's been
That's mine.
Dr. Seuss.
okay. So I don't know, so we've got okay, never mind. Okay, so this is introducing
Keep
myself.
that microphone close, Debbie, so we can hear you.
Say what?
Put the microphone close to you.
Okay, so anyway, so sorry for that. It's a really cool video. So if you go on our website, we have a YouTube video on there. But so basically, you guys, most of you were here when it started, so it's kind of a cool little thing. It's also kind of it's been an honor to be able to be one of the ones that started it, which is kind of a cool thing too. So the Canopy Tours, as most of you guys know, is located in Alliance Redwoods. It started in 1946. Have got 450 beds or so. We serve a lot of outdoor ed kids. So 5th and 6th grade students come from all the different elementary schools to do the outdoor ed programs and things like that. And we employ close to 125 people in the middle of the summer. So we're pretty good employer. Today is just not one of those.
Meet Ken Brandt.
That's bad. That's bad.
Okay, so we also, thank you, Ken. Thanks. So anyway, so we also have a lot of options. So when we started the Canopy Tour, we had already been doing a lot of different things. things like that. So for all those kids and things like that, they can do sand volleyball, they can do a swimming pool. They don't normally do paintball. We don't let 10th, 5th graders get a hold of guns. It's an interesting experience. But we did add the canopy tours onto that. And so how we got started, most of you guys have met, Bruce Woolert came a couple of years ago, did a presentation here. And basically, he and his wife were down in Puerto Vallarta back in 2008. And they had tried, they picked up one of their rat birds in their hotel, and for an entire week, they tried to get on a canopy tour. They tried to get on and do the canopy tour, and they were not able to do one. So he kind of got back on the plane, and he thought, we've got trees, maybe we could do something. And so it kind of started from there. It was just a guided experience. And then what we did is we needed to have another revenue source. Something that was started in 1946, just like most of us, begins to wear and have a lot of problems after that. So we needed a pretty good influx of money. And so we looked at that as another source of revenue. And so we started the canopy tour. Opened on July 1st of 2010. So what we've done now is we've just started, the kind of the tagline is a memory of a lifetime. Because as most of you guys know, the redwood forest is in the coastal redwoods are only located in the northern part of California here. And so there's a lot of education and there's a lot of family fun that we try to promote with all this. So we've been doing that. We have brought, we've got people from the youngest age, I think I told Dan earlier, the youngest age needs to be 10 years of age and 70 pounds in order for the canopy, to come on a canopy tour. And then the max weight's going to be 250. So we find that there's a lot of bonding with families. That I go out, nobody tells me what's going on sometimes, but I walked out before and I didn't get a picture of this, but they were celebrating somebody's 80th birthday, and it was a family tree kind of thing, and they had all the family on the zip lines coming through. So that was pretty cool. So what they're finding a lot of times is that what we're finding when we go out and talk to the people in the parking lot is it's just kind of a bucket list kind of thing. So people are just anxious to do something. They are scared of heights. A lot of people are scared of heights. A lot of people are scared of heights. A lot of people are scared of heights. That's really the second most scary thing that most people are afraid of. And so there's a lot of fear through all that stuff. So what they do is we have some guides. They say the same stupid jokes like 4 times a day, but they really start to break the ice. And then what we found that a lot of times that once they've broken the ice and once they've accomplished the goal of completing the canopy tour, they really accomplish something. So they start to feel better about themselves. And so that's what we find with just the regular people, and I'll talk about the at-risk population in just a minute. So this is the course map of the original course. We're going through a name change now. We're remodeling one of the other courses so that probably toward the end of May we're going to have an entire 1 mile worth of zip lines that we're going to be offering now. So we added some different zip lines to the second course with that. So the main part that I was going to talk about today was a little bit about just the safety part of it. So each of our trainers, each of our guides has we have a third-party trainer that comes annually, and they come and test. They can make sure that the lines are safe. They recertify everyone. And then we also have monthly safety meetings with practicing rescues and lower-offs and those type of things too. So we've only had a couple of people that have had to be lowered off, and the reason why was because they were a danger to themselves or someone else. But that's only been, in the course of the time that we've been open, that's only been maybe 4 people. So it hasn't really been that much of a problem at all. So the course is inspected annually by a third-party inspection. And that third party, when we have a third-party inspector, that does help with our insurance rates and those kind of things too. So we don't have the fox guard and the hen house on those things. We've also got some thorough inspections for the manager, and then they do a daily course inspection each day. So all the equipment, I didn't bring any of the pieces right now, but the equipment, we've got trolleys, we've got the line, we've got those kind of things. So we go ahead and we log every piece of equipment and how often it's been used, and then we go ahead and replace it on ongoing basis as well. So we do that, and we're very proactive about ensuring that all those things are done. So there's a sample up there, a picture up there of some of the locking mechanisms. So we've got a chest harness and a seat harness. So I don't know if you guys, it was just the other day, there was somebody that bungee cord, did a bungee jump, and she fell out of a harness. You've got two ways to do it. So you've got a harness on the chest and a harness on the seat. So that way you're able to ensure that if something happens with one, you know about the other one. So you've also got, you've got two clips in at one time. You're always clipped on. You're never off. You've got two hands on the trolleys at all times. You've got a helmet, the age and weight limits. The weight limit comes in when you're coming in on one of the lines. The weight limit comes in if you're over the weight limit, you're going to come in lower and you're going to come in faster. That's back to the physics courses back in the day that we slept through, physics. But so that's kind of why we have those two regulations. Actually, the rating on the airplane cable itself is like 900 pounds, but it really isn't the weight of the person. It is going to be more how they come in, just for their safety. And then they have to just make sure that they follow the rules. And we have had a couple of situations where the people have not wanted to follow the rules, and so they've got to go down. And it's a very scary coming. When you come down, if you're sent down, it's not very much fun. So we had a lot of surprises. You can see up on the upper right-hand corner up there. That's called it's called a gyro pocket, I think. And because we're so close to Silicon Valley, I get a ton of really cool phone calls. And so that's a little thing, a little virtual reality camera, that you plug into the bottom of your phone, and it just kind of like floats in this oil kind of thing. And so it's really pretty cool. So we had a lot of really cool when we first opened. LG came out and made it a 3D shoot. So we've had a lot of really cool people come out and just do the training course for that. We've had Subaru come out to do an ad, but they never and anything. We've had Marvel come out and do a shoot too. So we've had a lot of different large companies coming out. So when we first opened, the people that came out to do the due diligence to look at the company and look at where we were, they said, probably in about between 3 to 5 years, you guys will reach maturity and will reach about 20,000 people. Given how close we are to San Francisco, how close we are to wine country and those kind of things too. So again, now we're going to probably get close to 30,000 this year. So that's pretty exciting. And again, like I shared earlier, there were 40 of them, 40 company stores in the U.S. and other 7 countries. So it's rather interesting. The new thing is going to be called an adventure park, and that's kind of a new thing that they're going to be doing. So instead of doing the zip lines and being a little bit more passive, there's a new activity that's coming up in the same company. It's called an adventure park. And so it's just, we haven't added that as a component yet, but that may be something we do in the future. So we did get recognition with USA Today, but the first month of our organization being open. We've got KZST, AAA, we do a lot with Yelp, those kind of things. Yelp is one of our number one referrers at this point. We also do a lot with Via Magazine, and then what we're doing now is we're getting more into ensuring that we really promote for the visitor centers and things like that, like Sonoma Valley Visitors Bureau, Sonoma County Tourism, those kind of things. So what we do is we basically just kind of ride on their coattails. So instead of me having to go to Scandinavia to go talk about the Canopy Tour, we provide the rack cards, and we provide the advertising. And we also provide a lot of fan tours for people that are coming from different countries, like different travel agents and things like that. And then those travel agents are able to share information about the Canopy Tours, just about other things to do. People really do want to do something besides wine tasting. So we also, about 2 years ago, we also added night flights. So we've got that going now. We've got some really cool remote little guide kind of thing, the guide operated things, and so then the lights will kind of change colors on the trees up there. So about 200 feet off the ground, you start seeing the trees start to glow. That's a pretty cool, so people are really enjoying that. What we also did is we also kind of partnered up where we do zip the day and zip another way. So we kind of added that as a component, and that one's been real popular too. Because people want to just, they kind of continue that glow of just having fun and just staying out in the trees. We've given back, as you guys know, we were one of the first ones to respond as far as giving back to the community. To date, it's $360,000. So come the end of May is what we're looking at. We're doing a big celebration. It'll be close to $400,000 that we've given back to the community. So we've given it back to a lot of the different at-risk youth organizations. This little boy was from a high school, Marin High School, and but we worked with kids from like Roseland Elementary and those kind of places. And those kids were maybe 20, 30 minutes away from Roseland, but they've never been out there. They've never been out to see the redwoods. They've never been out to see those kind of things. So when we put the kids on when we invite the kids to come out, I go out and I shake their hands. We go out and talk about the fact that some people are scared of all kinds of different things. We ask that one of their counselors go with each of the different groups. I take my sunglasses off and we shake hands with each of the kids. The kids maybe have never shaken an adult's hand that they don't know, as a stranger. We talk about it. We talk about, you having to present yourself a little bit better, have to look each other in the eyes, which sometimes they haven't done either. And then we also talk about the fact that sometimes people are scared of different things, and they actually do end up seeing that with some of their counselors, and it does help with the bonding experience a little bit. We also talked to them about possibly an entry-level job, something that they could do. A lot of times it's with hospitality. Is one of the entry ways that they can get in. And all I really tell them is, I said, you gotta show up on time, you gotta be nice. That's about it for starting any kind of job. And so I think it's been very helpful just because it puts the kids in a very, in just a different environment, but also just gives them some practical knowledge as well. So we've had a lot of that. So these are some kids, this is Real Options Kids for City Kids. I think these are kids from down in San Francisco. So, we think that we're, in the city here, but in San Francisco, they don't get to see anything like what we've got out here. So, anyway. So what we're looking at now is we're doing a lot more with corporate groups and team building. And we're calling it team bonding instead of team building. We're really calling it more team bonding. Just an experience. We're finding a lot of times that large corporate groups are having a hard time keeping their employees because of the job market, the current job market, the way it is. And so the team bonding thing is just is a company benefit that they can do that can help keep maybe just endear the current employees to save the company a little bit longer. So we're working with that, trying to partner up with some of the groups. We're also starting to get a little bit more proactive as far as reaching out to these to the youth groups and organizations. So these are the two things that I'm starting to work on a little bit more, is being a little bit more proactive on corporate and a little bit more proactive on the at-risk youth population. And we're also doing some fundraising activities as well. So that was fun too. So what kind of questions do you have? Anybody? Yes.
You and the sandwich hang around under the redwoods, and people see them when they zip line?
Yeah, they all wave, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Do you you said you have 450 beds, so do you bring in groups that aren't necessarily coming for the zip line?
Oh, yeah,
Or a
sure.
facility for the weekend?
Yeah. So we during the weekdays, Monday through Friday, we do 6 grade schools, and then on the weekends, we either be nonprofit organizations or churches.
And you guys are not involved with the zip line per se, they can
Yeah,
use
and actually that's not a market, we don't even do it. We maybe have, we have maybe 400, 500 groups this time on a weekend, and maybe 3 of them do it.
That was their first.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Did I hear you say that we're gonna have a first Friday out there sometime?
We can't have the alcohol out there. So.
No.
It's gonna be a dry first Friday. Well, we'll get like a yeah. Oh, I was gonna show you guys one more thing real quick. So this is what I'm really proud of. For one, we're going into some of the different refrigerator magnets for the different bed and breakfasts and the VRBOs and those kind of things. things too. And what I'm real excited about, which is starting for Mother's Day and Father's Day, is this is a charger that we've got. It's a cellular charger that can, when you charge it on your computer, and then you can, like when you're hiking or something like that, or biking, then you can go ahead and charge up this charger that can ultimately charge up your cell phone. So really excited about this to be kind of a premium gift kind of thing. So you guys, yeah, it's solar. And it's also branded, so you guys are the first ones to get to see it.
Well, thank you, Debbie, that was wonderful. You mentioned that a lot of us are afraid of heights, but actually we're afraid of dying.
Yeah, we're afraid of dying.
Well, let's see. Today we have our glasses on. Oh, okay. So today's door prize from Jim. Thank you. Would you like to draw? Draw.
481.
7465.
Wait, don't go. Here's your speaker gift.
Oh, thank you so much.
Huh?
It's so funny, it's so funny.
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here you go. That's over $100.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you very much. So here's my joke of the day. 365 days of the year we tell our kids, what are you doing? You do not eat things we find on the ground. But on Easter we say, come on kids, let's go and search in the dirt for candy that a stranger left for you.
Did you put Nancy's picture on that door? I resemble that.
So, while I was doing my Easter research, I found that it was very popular to have little kids sitting on top of these big bunnies. But some of them are more disturbing than others. Oh! There's my wife many years ago, and that's a very sweet one. These two. Oh, man. This is chilly.
It's frightening.
Look at that kid. She's having a good Easter. Oh, wait. It gets better. Come on, kids. We're going down to the shopping mall. And we're come on. All right. Okay, so... okay. Well, anyway, the joke of the day was from Lincoln. I don't see Lincoln. Is he hiding? No. So, no joke of the day. Unless somebody has one, they'd like to volunteer. No, but he's feeling very jokey. Okay. Well, in that case, it's happy trail time.
Right. Happy trail.